Hello everybody, Ryan here with another episode of FTL Advanced Edition. Last time we got this beautiful halberd beam during quite possibly the greatest event ever. It was that one event in the Ion Storm where you can possibly scavenge your weapon, or possibly do nothing and take damage, or possibly get hit by an auto assault. So, you know, I'd like to think we kind of came on top. Regardless, we're going to jump to this empty beacon, and hopefully, sometime very soon, we'll be able to get the 2 power bars required to get this weapon online. And maybe this friendly mantis will be willing to kill us. He does have a teleporter. No, not kill us. Will be willing to let us kill him for the scrap to get this weapon online. They do have a teleporter, which is a little bit dangerous, but I've got my NG on the doors and a mantis ready to cut some flesh. They also have an ion stunner, which does mean that if they manage to hit the shields, ideally, I kind of want to get my mantis out of there. Will I do it? Who knows? Also, who knows where the mantis are? I have absolutely no idea right now. And it looks like they teleported right into the core of our ship, and they're going for oxygen, which is a curious decision. So I'm going to turn off oxygen to hasten up the process, and looks like the suffocation process, that is. Looks like they're not trying to go for the doors, which might actually present a problem because that's where our NG is. And that's the only thing keeping the mantis contained is the door system. Regardless, fires the weapons. Try and get as much damage onto their weapons as possible. They did get a cheeky hit in with the missiles. On the doors too, by the way, which will wound Pipaluk. And the Ion Stunner did also make contact with the shield. So this was just a botched thing already. Regardless, the Mantis don't care for Pipaluk. The Mantis instead are going for Kletskin the hero. So I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Pipaluk repair them doors. Send in the Mantis to save the world. Or Kletskin, but Kletskin's a hero, so technically both at the same time. And ultimately, I think we've got this, especially now that they teleported back home. That's basically game. Their weapons are completely offline, so I'm not too worried, I guess. But, anyways, we're going to send those guys over. Yeah, there we go. Send them all over to the med bay because their weapons are offline. Sending the pilot may have been a little bit silly, but you know what? I like to live life on the edge. Also, they don't have dodge chance, so I'll easily and rest assuredly be able to kill them before they can get that missile online. Which I did. And that's game! We get some 21 scrap and 2 missiles. Not quite enough, or maybe it is, to get 2 more weapon bars, although I think I will want to save up a little bit more. Meanwhile, everyone's been healed up to full, and that went about as well as it could be. I'm going to send Pipaluk to the piloting for some weird... There we go! Haha! I knew past me wasn't that stupid. Anyways, you can see the hit from the oxygen there. The room was very red. Now, do we go to the store? No, we don't. Again, I'm trying to save my money to get that halberd beam online as soon as possible. So, we have our pirate assault. He's gonna try and sell us a weapon for 45 scrap. Which, should be noted, he has a whole beam or whatever the 3 damage missile is. I meant whole missile, by the way. So we're going to ignore him. We're not going to buy the weapon. We're not going to attack him because that is a very dangerous missile, which I just kind of sort of don't even want to deal with right now. He's also got a heavy laser, but that's less important. Regardless, the ultimate decision, where do I go? Apparently this decision is harder than it looks. Come on, buddy, just click. There you go. I don't know, maybe I was interrupted right there. Who knows? I recorded this like almost a week ago. Your crew are constantly looking at the windows, aka it's just an empty beacon. So let's move on to the next. Will something happen? No! It's another empty beacon, and now we're learning about why I don't like Nebula. The main downside to Nebulas, in my opinion. Oh, there's our Ion Storm. We finally found something. Unfortunately, it's a rock fighter who called us repugnant. He's got a flat cannon and a basic laser. The flat cannon scares me. I'm not gonna do that. I've had bad experiences with the flat cannon. It can be bad if you get hit in the proper ways. So we jump on, we have a mantis who wishes to apparently kill me. He's got a lot of missile weapons. He's not going to be able to keep up that fire for very long. But that fire is going to hurt like a mother. He's got 2 types of bombs, which I have no idea what they are. An Artemis and a charge laser, which he, for some reason, is only firing 1 charge at a time on. Which, I mean, I'll take it. It makes my life easier because, you know, I can block all of them. He does get the Lido or the Artemis out. Hits us in the useless room that I believe is where the teleporter goes. And breached it, but whatever. They did firebomb in there. It was a small bomb, but just in case it lit a fire, I'm going to go ahead and open up that door just in case. You never know. And now all of their weapons are offline. What was their second bomb type? Who knows? I don't. Because they never got to fire it, which if they didn't get to fire it, that means that it was a bit more dangerous than a small bomb. And they are dead as dead can be. Just spread out the damage. We get 2 fuel, 28 scrap, which should be enough for us to get that halberd beam online. Almost! Oh, one bar short. So, I'm going to do the thing that I always try and do, and we are going to juggle the halberd beam. Or, not, juggle power between the engines and the oxygen. It's one of those strategies that I talk about doing a lot, and I really do believe that it's a good idea, but, unfortunately, I don't do it all that often, because I get carried away. The tunnel vision is real! And just as soon as we get our halberd beam charged up, we encounter a ship with 0 shields, so this should go quite nicely. Unfortunately, they do have an Ion Mark II, which means that they are going to be constantly draining our shields. We managed to shut down the Ion Mark II. Unfortunately, our shields are still going to be taking a beating because we got hit by a missile that just so happened to light a fire. Hopefully, we can get that fire out before the last shield bubble goes. Or alternatively, we could just kill them with the halberd beam because they don't have shields. I like that idea a bit more. And now we have enough power to not need to juggle. Remember when I said juggling power between oxygen and engines? Yeah. Remember when I said that I don't actually do that even though I say it's a good idea? Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get everyone in there and repair those shields before we move on to the next beacon. Even gonna send in the Zoltan because screw it, I need to get over my paranoia of moving Zoltan around sometime. Why not now when there's no stress at all? Other way, trying to... Now would have been a good time to use those buttons, but whatever. People don't like it when I don't use those buttons. If I had to dive for every single time someone yelled at me for not using those buttons. The buttons that save and move your crew to their positions beneath those little buttons beneath the crew's health bar at the left side. Yeah, people don't like it when I don't do that. Regardless, we have Zoltan homeworlds and the Inji homeworlds. Good, they're like next door neighbors, you know? Those really two cheery next door neighbors that are really happy with each other because they're really good people. Regardless, we choose the Inji homeworlds because it's super shields. That's why. I'm not too worried about drones. And I'm much more worried about super shields than drones, because, well, I'd rather just get the DPS in and kill them. And it's a refugee ship, but suddenly a slug ship jumps into the systems, and it was hunting the refugee, so we're going to take care of that. He does have an Ion Mark II and a basic laser, but we should be fine. It'll take 4 shots from that Ion Mark II to get through our shields. And thankfully we have plenty of damage, especially now that we have the halberd beam going. Nope, I'm gonna wait until the halberd beam's fully charged just to get my load off. Just got to get that full load off. And here we go. Fire the heavy laser a little bit later. The shields are gone, let's wreck them. Wreck them, no, wreck them. We did manage to shut down the heavy ion, and their dodge chance has been completely negated now as well. So we are basically just good to go. I'm going to fire everything because, again, their dodge chance is negated. There goes their shields. So now when the halberd beam is ready to go, we can fire it at our leisure. And all systems in red? Not quite. They had... Wait. How many bars in oxygen would that have to be? Halberd beam is 2 damage, right? Yeah, they have a 3-bar oxygen. Regardless, as a gesture of goodwill and seeing how effectively you dispatch the enemy ship, they offer us supplies that they can spare, which is nice, you know. They're running away, they're low on supplies, but they give us a pretty hefty amount of supplies for, you know, I'm beginning to think that they were lying to us about being low on supplies, honestly. Whatever, I can't blame them. They were hunted down by a slug ship that was greedy. The last thing they need is to be hunted down by a rebel cruiser that's greedy. The Inji are awaiting you at the beacon with their weapons online. They explain a computer virus that is wanted for hostile acts against the Inji, multiple counts of binary scrambling, nail dissolution. We've encountered this beacon before, and I'm hesitant here because I remember what happened last time. I sacrificed a crew member, and I got set against a ship that was immensely more powerful than mine. So we lose Pippaluck, but thankfully this ship dumped a little bit too much power into their drone defense. Just a little bit, only 3 anti-drone drones. Unfortunately, it still can't break my shields, but it's nothing extreme. We should be able to easily handle this one, unlike the last time we got a ship like this. Also, the weapons are not staggered correctly, and we take 0 damage despite the fact that the beam touched our hull, because that's just the way the world works. Regardless, we're going to try and fire everything. We fire those, their shields are broken. Now, what do I hit? I just try and go for maximum damage, quite frankly, because I'm not too worried about their weapons. I want to maximize the damage, so that's all I'm going to do. Booyah. Get that sweet 8 damage. And one more volley should bring him down. Damaging the drones did nothing, but damaging the shields evidently also did nothing. Also bear in mind that it's an Inji ship, so damaging anything would have done nothing anyways. We did lose one of our basic lasers, so we're going to have to wait for this last volley and maybe get lucky. We should hopefully be able to get through. Because do bear in mind that halberd beam can pierce shields due to its damage resistance. Unfortunately, it can't pierce 2 shield bubbles, so those 2 misses were actually terrible. Gonna power up that last basic laser. And get ready for hype. We're about to unload. Feel the wrath of the gods. Yeah, at this point I just fire everything because it doesn't matter. The halberd, doesn't matter what gets through. I don't have to prioritize the heavy laser. And they're dead. With the ship destroyed, you scrap and prepare to jump away. And to your surprise, your NG crew member reforms. It looks as if the virus reconstituted, repurposed, and reprogrammed the NG host and wants to travel with you. And it seems to have learned a great deal from its time on your ship. So basically, we get an NG crew member with completely maxed out stats. Everything is golden on this guy. And is nothing short of fantastic. And I'm going to completely waste him by putting him in the door control, because why not? Meanwhile, I'm admiring as the game slowly tells me that he's leveling up in all these skills. But yes, this is the character that people were freaking out at me for not getting, even though that was very much a losing battle. So there we go, we got our virus, which is nothing short of amazing. Real happy we got that. And I know a lot of you guys are anal about this, don't worry. I don't remember much about this playthrough, but what I do remember is that eventually I moved him to the shields, like a smart man. The NG seemed to have avoided this particular node, along with every other life form. And there's really no reason why, so we just spin up the FTL and GTFO. Next beacon. Maybe something interesting will happen. Yes, we have our booby-trapped the cache. Also, should know, since this is the NG Homeworlds, I am actively searching for the stealth cruiser, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. So I did delay the roll fleet because, well, 1, 2 missiles is worth it. I'm not using missiles. And 2, I really want to find that, stealth cruiser event. Regardless, that guy's offering me a terrible deal. I'm not using the missiles, but I'm not using the drones either, so it's a little bit silly. But yes, for those of you who are unaware, the cruiser, or the unlocking a cruiser events always give you just ridiculous scrap returns. And over here we found an NG research vessel who gives us a drone as well as some money. So basically he just gave us 2 forms of money, one of which I have to make a down payment at a bank to acquire. So that's unfortunate, but oh well. Regardless, I'm gonna go to the quest, see what we can find. Maybe some fuel. Aha! Here we go. Here's our anti-ship battery. You'll recall we got wrecked by one of those in the last episode. This time, though, karmic justice. The anti-ship battery is on my side this time, which means we don't have to worry about it at all, but they do. Oh, they do. Regardless, oh, this is the Federation outpost they told us about last episode, and it looks like there's a heavy battle, but it's not over yet. Our engines are being hacked. This is, of course, the only ship remaining. Federation outpost is actually serving quite well for itself. It managed to hold off an entire enemy base, which is, honestly, in my opinion, quite impressive. So we're gonna try and break their shields. I don't know, I'm like trying to stagger the lasers here to get optimal ability. And we're gonna fire the halberd beam to try, and there we go. Brought down their triple shot ion. And also negated their dodge chance. Dodge chance doesn't matter against anti-ship battery, by the way. That's always a 100% chance. Regardless, anti-ship battery is locked, and it hits them right in the shields. That's exactly what we needed. Now we can just unload on them. Try and spread the damage around, and the shields get away with 1 or 2 bars left. Wah wah. Regardless, we scrap the wreckage, and the rebel ship is destroyed. The lone survivor responds. The space is no longer safe. Let me join your crew, and I'll have the station's drones patch up your ship. So we get a plethora of goodies here, including John, an NG who is very proficient in piloting. He's no Kletskin, though, so there's no way we're going to replace him. Also, the NG has to be able to move around. Even though he is technically a higher level, so he would have better dodge chance, it's just not a good idea, quite frankly. So instead, I'm gonna move him over to the sensors. So we'll now technically have our level 2 sensors, so we can see the enemy ship. We can see them squirm now as we slowly annihilate their ship. So that's nice. Regardless, I kind of want to go to the stress beacon, but do bear in mind that there are fewer beacons up there, which means that the odds of getting our stealth cruiser events are very, very low. Aha! Speaking of the stealth cruiser event, a simple decryption and translation of the comm frequency tells you that they are having a frantic discussion about something obviously troubling them. So we're gonna have the NG crew member talk, and they respond, our goals have analogous elements. However, not all available for disclosure. Discretion necessary. So we're gonna go ahead and offer our help, not as if we have any other option here. Secret technology stolen by Mantis. Implicit connection to rebels, implicit. Tracked Mantis to hidden rebel base, uploading coordinates. So, this is going to give us our quest marker. However, tracked second ship to different base. So basically, again, they haven't changed this event at all. There's 2 quests. However, thankfully for us, The second quest actually ended up in the next sector, so that makes things a lot simpler for us. Normally you'd have to choose and hope you get lucky, but regardless, here's one of the bases. It's a rebel rigger. He's gonna try and run away. He's got a pretty intimidating loadout as well as 3 shield bubbles, which sucks because that means all 3, or at least 2 of them are gonna hit. They did send in an ion intruder, which also sucks. Their missiles are really the only threat right now, unless of course the ion intruder somehow makes it to the other side of the ship, which I doubt is gonna happen. The missile is the only threat, because we've got 3 shield bars, we can easily handle that. He did ionize our dodge chance, which again is why that missile is our main threat here. So we're gonna unload. We're not gonna be able to go for the missiles, unfortunately, and not unless we go for the. Ooh. Managed to break all 3 shield bubbles. That actually worked out quite well. Oh, stop! This isn't worth dying for, so we're gonna demand information. We somehow managed to get through just before. Look at that missile. It's in the green. It was just about to fire. That was way too close. Alright, out of the way. He tells us where the stealth cruiser is, and so we let him live and jump away, but he gets the missile off, and we can't run away because our ship has been ionized. No! Also, our crew members have been stunned in an oxygenless room, so I'm gonna send in the engines to prepare, and unfortunately, poor John just gets smacked by a missile as he's walking by. That cheeky damage, though! That is about as cheeky as damage can get, quite frankly. Well, that kind of worked out for him, not really, though. So, just gonna heal up the guys, and then we can go for our stealth cruiser. I am still gonna go for the other event, though, or other quest event, because why not? It's a quest event. I want to do it. Also, we got that sweet Lost Ship trance music in the background. Booyah. No, that's not. This is hacking. I think this is hacking malfunction. I think that's what this song is. Whichever one the trance is in, I love it. Anyways, everyone's back in positions. Everyone's all healed up. Gonna send Virus. Here's what I realized. Wait a second. Virus is a bit better at shields than Dolan is. Just a little bit. So I'm going to send Dolan to the doors. But no, that's actually still a bad idea. Because I want someone to be in the doors who can stay in the doors. And the Mantis has to be ready to deal with an invasion. I'd rather be able to have both the Mantis and the doors rather than have to choose. So that's what I did. So we got quite a bit more of an optimal loadout here in terms of crew positioning. And we got stress beacon as well. And it's a Rebel fighter who's got a 4-charged laser right here, as well as a basic laser. So that's 5 shots if he decides to charge it up fully. However, to charge it up fully will take quite a bit of time. They did board us. However, I don't think they're going to be able to do much with their boarding tactics. We're able to hold them off. Although Yaz is fighting a losing battle here, the Mantis should be able to be more than adequate. And if not, we can always vent the room. You know, the good old pastime, suffocate them. It's such a good strategy. Anyways, it looks like they are going to try and charge up all 4 shots. Our loadout is ready to go, but I'm too focused on trying to keep my crew members alive. So I'm going to send Yaz to that med bay. Meanwhile, they're slowly taking their pot shots at me with the basic laser. And it's time to open fire. I'm going to fire those, delay the heavy laser. Maybe, where am I going to fire? I think I fired on the weapons. And just trying to track out the optimal damage, which, not necessarily optimal. I don't hit them in their oxygen, but whatever. That's min-max and bull. I'm just here to kill these rebels. Kill the rebel scum. You know, I'm going to heal up these 2 guys. I mean, I really don't need anyone on weapons. Their weapons are completely offline. We are by no means in a rush. And they've only got 3 shield bubbles, so they're dead. Oh, yeah. And I wait for the small engine to catch up. The NG vessel turns out to be very poorly equipped, barely a runabout, really. They're trying to outrun the rebels and need all the help they can get. Unfortunately, I cannot get the NG medbot dispersal, but I give them 25 and they give us a healing burst, which is awfully nice of them. So basically, it's also worthless to me. So you know that I kind of came out on bottom because the healing burst only sells for 20 scrap. But whatever. You know what? I can feel good about myself. I helped someone possibly escape the rebels. Keyword possibly. They've arrived at the long-range beacon, and by they, I mean we. And it looks like there's an intelligent life forms on a nearby planet. It's the 6-legged horses. So we're gonna try and communicate peacefully. And we continue to get more and more NGs on board this bloody ship. That's 3 in 1 sector, if I recall correctly. Anyways, they came towards us, gently nudge us, and basically they lead us to a shot-down NG ship. We reactivate Schultz, who is very good, or who is adept at repairing. We also get a lot of money, fuel, and some drones. Fuel is very nice right now, because as you can clearly tell, we're running on fumes here, which is less than optimal. Regardless, now I'm going to send Mr. Schultz to the sensors. So now I can have our Mantis just be ready to go, and I can still see the enemy ship, which is basically worthless, but hey, you never know, someone might like it. Tried fire. Okay. regardless, I think we're gonna send our Zoltan back there. Hopefully, there it goes. Every time, every time. Alright, let's jump. And head on over to... am I gonna go to the stress beacon? I mean, I may as well. I don't see why not. Go to stress beacon, then go to the store, come back down, and we should be... Or just go to the store. That could work too. Better safe than sorry, you know? Regardless, we're gonna heal ourselves up to max because it's 1 point of damage. Buy some more fuel. We came out positive in that case, since they did sell us 3. They got a charge ion, which we encountered earlier. But we're just gonna go on over to the exit, and it looks like past me is actually smarter than current me, which is very rare. So we got a rebel stronghold. After trying to avoid 2 red sectors in a row, we are now forced to go dive headfirst into the rebel stronghold. This is basically the rebel version of their homeworlds. You can encounter a quest here to get the Federation Cruiser, as I understand. I mean, it's basically, again, it's another quest for a cruiser, which gives you very good rewards. As we will hopefully find out with this stealth cruiser we should be unlocking this time around. Unfortunately, it still has the exact same quote as your typical rebel sector, so there's that too. Anyways, they're heavy-handedly keeping the peace. I've also been informed that there is a much more watered-down version of the Rebel flagship in this sector as well. Will we come across it? Let's find out. I mean, hopefully, I'm kind of excited. At the same time, I'm also terrified, so hopefully we don't. You finally caught up to the ships you've been hunting. A hangar-sized cargo ship is being escorted by a number of Mantis ships. As you reconsider the assault, a squadron of Indie ships with pirate emblems jump in and assist you. You prepare to fight the Mantis, but scans indicate they're manned by rebels. So basically, it's just a Black Ops team that's trying to steal technology from the from the Ingies. I mean, the Ingies explain it after we win this fight. Regardless, first we have to win it. And is there any question? I don't know. Maybe I'll get wrecked by the Artemis. I doubt it, though. It's then again, they are missiles. Everyone who knows me knows how much I hate missiles. I hate them when they're on my side. I hate them when they're not on my side. Regardless, I'm gonna try and get one cheeky volley out. Unfortunately, it did fail. Which, or maybe I'm just gonna stupidly try and fire the halberd beam, even though it's not ready to fire yet, you idiot. Oh, there we go, I realized it. And they hit us in the shields. Thankfully, that their burst laser still is only 2, so we're just fine. But I do have my Ingi Brigade ready to rock and roll, meaning that those shields are not gonna stay offline for very long. The power of 3 Ingis is too much. Regardless, I'm gonna try and get in some really good damage. There we go. Optimal firing solution given. Their missiles are offline, but not before they fire at us one more time. But we missed because freaking Kletskin. Are you still? I'm gonna keep saying it. He's a hero. I am gonna keep on saying it because it's not wrong. Regardless, time to send people back to their posts again. Maybe I'll press that button sometime soon. But until then, I'm the old guard. I'm gonna keep doing things the old way. And speaking of the old way, these guys are dead. That made no sense. I don't know, it's one of those things, you know, it's hard to get into the groove of using those buttons after 180 hours of doing it the traditional way. And the Envy emerged victorious from their battles with only minor losses. They message you, Project XME56, commissioned by Federation Military Research Division. Advanced Stealth Cruiser, project finished. And we asked him about the rebels likely deployed by rebels to avoid breaking non-aggression pact with Ingi. 97.556% likely. Your mission to assist last Federation fleet, correct? Coordinates? Satisfactory. Delivery of tech will assist in Federation cause. Gratitude alone insufficient. Commencing ship repair and compensation. Their crew deliver an advanced augmentation for installation, which is the titanium system casing, which is, of course, the augment that the stealth cruiser comes with, which is very nice. And, of course, we're more pleased to hear that the Federation will have an improved arsenal. We in-game are more pleased. We, in the real world, realize that that's actually worthless because they already have them. But whatever. You know what? We got this titanium system casing. Again, this is post-commentary, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. That is an that augment proves out to be an absolute godsend in this run. You'll find out. And an advanced rebel automated ship remains stationed on a nearby rebel space station. However, without tracking sensors, it is impossible to tell what is inside. Did I say tracking? I meant functioning sensors. Whoops! They do have a drone control. I mean, their initial loadout isn't too bad. Oh, wait, yes it is. That's a burst laser Mark III. Whoops. Yeah, I thought it was a basic laser. I don't know why. You know, we are approaching the end of the game. I was hopeful. But either way, they got a chain laser. They got burst laser Mark III. That's 5 lasers. 6 if you include the drone. And they've also got a beam drone as well, which is quite unfortunate. We're going to send in the Ingi Brigade, though, to help to take care of those sensors. I want to be able to see my ship, even though there's a Nebula and I won't be able to see the ship anyway. We're gonna fire the halberd beam, hopefully take care of the drones and their weapons. Booyah! Well, weapons are completely offline, anti-ship drones offline. All they've got left is the beam drone, which is going to do sweet FA against our 3 bubbles of shield. So basically we're safe. I don't know, they might be able to clip like the absolute tips of the engines there, kind of poking out the shield level, but I doubt it. We're gonna wreck their shields one more time, spread the damage to the other side, and they are as good as dead. We get 35 scrap as well, and another 23 because it was a storage site for various things. We're up to 120 scrap right now, so I'm gonna pump some more power into the engines because, quite frankly, I just want to make Kletskin's job easier. Because that way he'll be able to pull off even more godlike dodges. And where are we going? Where are we going? Make a choice, make a choice. You see, I do want to try and go for that quest down there, because it's a quest, you know? How can you ever turn down a quest? Send me on a quest. That's a really bad questing adventure impression. I'm really good at bad impressions. Alright, so we do find this Federation outpost that they told us about in the... I don't even know. Whatever. Either way, they tell us about a new Federation base. Because that last one was out of supplies. And we get Burst Laser Mark 1, which, if I recall correctly, takes up the exact same amount of power as a Burst. Nope, it takes up 1 more power. So, we can use our extreme amount of money right now to get yet another laser out of our weaponry here. That'll bring us up to 4 lasers and a halberd beam. I don't think I need to tell you that that's nothing short of amazing. Either way, we're going to go to this new Federation base they told us about. And perhaps they were mistaken. Unfortunately, we don't find anything. I think you need advanced sensors to find that Federation base, which was unfortunate because I did not have them, and manning them does not count as having level 2 sensors, as unfortunate as that is. We're gonna go down now. And you receive generic advertisements for a nearby public shipyard. It seems that they're willing to work on other ships other than ones of rebel hue, even though our ship is in fact of rebel hue, so I don't know where on earth we're drawing that conclusion from. Regardless, we're gonna heal up to full, get some more fuel, and sell these worthless weapons we've been hoarding, as well as the system repair drone. And we can get a burst laser to replace that basic laser now, as well as sell the old basic laser. Or rather, defense laser as it's apparently called. Also, apparently I'm just gonna go ahead and not equip the burst laser. There we go. Alright, I'm not that stupid. And now we just need to do our engine oxygen song and dance, aka we're never gonna do it, and we're just gonna roll 1 bar less of engine power to get 1 additional laser. I like that. Regardless, I'm gonna go down to the empty beacon because I want to go for that quest, because it's just, there's something about the word quest, damn it. You need to go for it, even if you know the scrap returns are only going to be normal. Whatever, I still want it. And the next beacon, what have we got? We've got a rebel ship approaches cautiously. Personally, I'd have stuck with the Federation, but I'm a soldier, sir, and I'm no use without a war to fight. Raise your shields. So we get the quote-unquote honorable rebel captain. Unfortunately, honorable and smartness are not one and the same, because this idiot doesn't realize that... seriously, where does this logic come from? Oh, by the way, there's one reason why it's the God Set. We resisted the 15% chance to resist damage to systems. So we basically completely nudged that off. But back to what I was saying. This rebel captain wanted to fight in a war, so he chose not to become a part of the Federation who was part of the war. I don't know, whatever, he's an idiot. Either way, he, so much for honor, he's now crying and peeing his pants with a terrible deal for Sector 5. I mean, it might not be that bad if I was looking for missiles, but we've been over this multiple times now. I have lasers and beams. I do not use your old technology that you call missiles. Alright, and he's dead. Unfortunately, while he told us to raise our shields, he was unable to raise his own. We got 32 scrap and 1 fuel, and we can make it to that quest beacon. Hopefully they'll give us some fuel, because we are running a little bit low. You are at one of the rebel bases that the Injis told you about. It appears abandoned except for 1 scout ship. Perhaps you could extract some information from them. Let's make it happen! They got 3 more shield bubbles, they got 4 lasers, which can pierce R3, but Kletskin's a hero! Also, they have 2 types of drones. They have hacking, which hacks our piling, which will negate our dodge chance, which, well, Kletskin may be a hero, but how much of a hero can he truly become? Regardless, we're sending everybody to the shields, all 4 Injis. Again, I would much rather have an Inji tank for the Mantis, but unfortunately that's not necessarily within the realm of possibility. Our dodge is not actually being hacked right now, so we do still have our full dodge chance, I think. Actually, no, it's 27% evade, so I guess we're still being hit by that hack. Either that, or maybe just having it simply attached will just negate your dodge chance in general. Who knows? Either way, it's less than optimal. I would rather have our full dodge chance. Meanwhile, I'm trying to decide whether hit him in the helm or hit him in the weapons, because they do have a rather nasty loadout. Again, we did already get the stealth cruiser, so I do want to focus a bit more on survivability. Stop! I don't want to die here. So we're going to demand some information. Ah, so that's what you're after. Too bad. You followed the wrong ship. That envoy passed through here was a fake to trick fools like you. Let us go. This guy's such a jerk. I mean, seriously, every single time he's just like, ha, you're a, my life is at your mercy. By the way, you're a moron and I hate you. It's like, what? I don't know what it is. Rebels just aren't smart. The last rebel wasn't smart. This rebel wasn't smart. I'm starting to notice a trend here. Also, there are those rebels in Sector 1 who were constantly trying to destroy my airlocks. They weren't very smart. Rebels are just stupid. Even the Star Wars rebels, I'm gonna be honest here. Personally, I mean, they do have the Y-Wing. They do have the Y-Wing, which is quite possibly the single best ship in the Star Wars universe, but, actually, no, not even. The CIS bomber was way better. What's it called? The drones bomber. Oh my god, that thing was nothing short of amazing. Anyways, I'm rambling about Star Wars Battlefront now. Oh man, the tangents I go on while waiting for my crew to heal up. The tangents I go. Regardless, it's time to move on. Robo Fleet is starting to get on our coat trails, but we did get some fuel. We should be able to get out of here. And this is supposed to be one of the Rebels' unmanned scouts. He's got a triple charge ion and a heavy laser, as well as 2 types of beam drones, one of which sparks fires, the other of which slowly disassembles my ship piece by piece. Hopefully, none of those should be able to get through. I doubt it. Oh, he is going to fire 2 of those ions. Unfortunately, that's only going to be enough to bring us down to 2 shield bubbles, which he still can't break, so... Oh well, whatever, he tried. Time to open fire and show him who's boss. Maybe, ooh, we're only going to be able to get 1 bit through. Still, 1 point of damage is better than none. Let's see if we can disable the ion. We did not, however, we did manage to disable his heavy laser, so... Thankfully, that does mean that, basically, he's dead now. That's what I'm trying to say. I've been taking my sweet time is all in saying that. Either way, we're going to open fire again. Gonna delay on that heavy laser just in case the first 3 lasers hit, which they do, just in case. They actually have no dodge chance, so that wasn't even a just in case. Weapons are completely offline. Shields are very badly damaged. Suffice it to say, this guy is pretty well boned right now. So, he's dead. There we go. Didn't even need the halberd beam. That's why I love hanging the helm, because, you know, all that matters is damaging them. Either way, we're going to get out of here, because fuel's low. I don't like having fuel low. We're gonna try and get away from the rebel fleet before something bad can happen. And speaking of which, we discover a storage vessel for military goods, which we're going to attack to get into. He's got 5 lasers and a missile, which is not necessarily good for me. We're gonna depower that med bay, which I should have done aeons ago, and put some more power into our engines. And hopefully kill this man. Thankfully, he does only have 2 shield bars. Not thankfully, he does hit us in the oxygen, but the Inji Brigade is already on the prowl. Those guys are unstoppable, man. They're unstoppable. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, God. Come on. Damn it. I hate it when that happens. Like, the sneeze is there. It's there. I can feel it tickling my nose. Stop it. Okay, either way, we managed to destroy their net. Yeah. Okay. We managed to negate their dodge chance and destroy their weapons, although we didn't actually take down any of their weapons by damaging them. Now we took down 1 of their 4 lasers, which means I can still easily pierce my shield bubbles, and the damnable missile is still online. Either way, come on, their dodge chance is gone, which is all that an auto surveyor has going for it, really. Auto scout as well. We get lots of scrap, as well as a boarding drone, which is worth even more scrap. That's one of the more expensive drones out there, believe it or not. So that is, that worked out well for us. Yaz, why don't you go ahead and heal yourself up. And so far, we've been doing so good. That was a pretty good set of sectors. That was a very good rebel stronghold as well. Unfortunately, we did not manage to encounter the rebel flagship prototype, as people have been telling me about. But anyways, next up we have a civilian sector or an engine-controlled sector. We're gonna have to choose between the 2, and by that, of course, I mean we're gonna go to the civilian sector. Simply because I need fuel, and civilian sector is really the only sector in the game that doesn't have some silly gimmick attached to it. Oh dear. I've gone over my time limit. So that's gonna be all for this one. Be sure to like it if you liked it, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.